This is Chris Commons, and this is the history of recording music.
The phonautograph was patented in March 25, 1875. It transcribed sound waves into a line traced on smoke, black printed paper, or glass. 50 years later, in 1925, the beginning of the electronic recording made it possible for microphones to capture live performances. The leading record labels switched to electronic microphones later in the 1920s. Because of the size of these large microphones, it required massive amounts of space and large rooms for these microphones to be housed in. Between the 1930s and the 1950s, music was recorded into a single tape. All the musicians had to play the entire song live. There was no room for error. If one single musician messed up, the entire band would have to restart and the entire recording process over again. With the invention of multi-track in recording, each band member could record his or her own part and play to a pre-recorded track, hence the overdubbing. This allowed a musician to take many takes, so if one musician messed up, they could just continue on and re-record their part. In the 1990s, there was a huge demand for digital music to be made. The music industry changed. Because of the decrease in price of equipment that you could buy, the average consumer could buy high-end audio equipment and build their own studio at a very reasonable price. With programs like Pro Tools for the Mac, making music could never be cheaper and easier.
Hello, my name is Vernon Coleman, and today I'm going to talk about 3 successful independent artists. Number 3 on the list, Lil B. 22-year-old Lil B is an author and a rapper with a gross net worth of over $650,000. Once a member of Jive Records group The Pack, Lil B ventured off into MySpace, where he released singles like Wonton Soup that created over 7 million views worldwide. He continued to venture into social networking sites such as Facebook and Twitter and ended up receiving the cover of the XXL magazine. Lil B caused controversy when releasing I'm Gay, where he claims to be happy with his current success. Number 2 on our list, we have Tyler, the Creator. Tyler, the Creator is a 20-year-old artist and producer out of California who formed his own group, Odd Future Wolfgang Kill Them All. Tyler, the Creator released his first album titled Bastard and then released his second album titled Goblin, which featured the single Yonkers, which gained over 7 million views first week and then 37 million views currently. He currently was nominated for a Best New Artist award at the MTV Awards and won. And the number 1 most successful independent artist, you have Tech N9ne. Tech N9ne, who formed the group Strange Music, has appeared as a guest appearance on soundtracks such as Gang Related. After gaining exposure from that, he released his own album entitled Absolute Power, and then released another album entitled Ever Ready. And then he released a guest appearance album entitled Misery Loves Company, and then released a self-titled album, Killer. In 2011, he was awarded the Left Woody Award. Tech N9ne is the only artist to sell 1 million records.
How to build your own studio. The first step is computer hardware. You need at least one fully operating computer consisting of either a PC, desktop, laptop, or Mac. The next is operating system. You need either Windows XP, Windows 7, or Mac OS X. The third step is recording software. And your recording software should be fully compatible with your operating system and hardware. The fourth step would be FireWire. And you want to look for one that supports ASIO drivers for recording. The number of inputs and outputs depends on your need. If you're a singer-songwriter that will be recording with only 2 tracks at the same time, then a 2-input audio interface is enough. Make sure these inputs have preamps on them, and make sure there are at least 2 outputs so you can monitor using headphones or the near-field monitor. The fifth step is the near-field monitors. When buying near-field monitors, they do not need to be very expensive. Just make sure that they are well supported by the community, as often indicated by positive feedback and ratings. The sixth step is cables and connectors. If you are using a FireWire USB audio interface, you need a FireWire or USB cable from the audio interface connected to your computer. You will need the appropriate TRS jacks for connecting your near-field monitors to the audio interface output, in addition to the XLR and quarter-inch cables for connecting your guitars and microphones. The next is a vocal condenser mic. This will be used for recording vocals and guitars. It does not need to be very expensive, but it should have a frequency range from somewhere around 20 Hz to 22 kHz. Lastly is a dynamic mic. If you are recording distorted guitars, you will be using amps. The best way of recording guitars using an amp is to use dynamic microphones. There are too many to choose from, and it really comes down to preference. All in all, building your own studio is not a whole lot of work, but you have to have the right equipment to get the job done.